Greetings, this is Marcel Castillo here, and I'm just doing some hiking here in Iceland, and I tell you right now, I'm going to be really thrilled to tell you all about Iceland. This is my first time here in Iceland. I've been dreaming about coming here, years ago, and now it's come true. To my right is my hotel, and behind me is a background of mountains, the bay and the clouds, and basically I'm here to tell you my adventure here in Iceland. And Iceland was formed millions of years ago because of volcanoes that erupted here, and what you see on this island are the formation of the volcanoes, are the rocks that resulted from the solidification of the molten rock. And all of this here is actually volcanic rock that has solidified already. But here in Iceland, I've been told that you're going to see beautiful mountains, waterfalls, volcanoes, glaciers, and other things birds also, that are found here in Iceland. And I'm going to do a special flying using my drone. Hopefully I've done enough practice to show you what I will see up in the air using my drone, because you'll see a better perspective of Iceland up in the air. So welcome to my adventure, to my trip to Iceland. Going to Iceland has been a dream for me, and I've always wanted to go to Iceland because it's a beautiful place to go. And with me is Gudni, our OAT leader, who will tell us about what we're seeing above the air.
So here we are at Seljalandsfoss. That's the waterfall. That is basically melting water coming down in a river from the glacier Eyjafjallajökull. That erupted in 2010 and stopped a lot of air traffic in Iceland and in the North Atlantic over Europe, and also some of it in North America. The waterfall itself, it's special. It's very close to the main road that goes south and east, and so a lot of people will stop there. And it's also special because it's the one where you can walk behind it, and it gives a great adventurous experience for people who want to go there. But they better be careful because there's a lot of mist
right here
coming from
behind
there.
These falls,
right there, exactly. You can
and
see the people there.
Are going, yes.
And you better wear a raincoat when you go behind there, because there's a lot of spray coming from the waterfall. But it's a great experience.
It's also, when I was walking there, very windy. So you have to be careful of the wind and the mud that you're going over.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's a little bit rocky also behind there, so people have to be careful. But it's a very cool and magical thing, and just seeing that waterfall is a very, very good experience, and people just love this place.
Any stories about here, of troll stories here, or it's just a beautiful place to see?
This one is just a beautiful place to see, but like everywhere in Iceland, there probably used to live trolls there.
And what are we looking at now? We got some like black sand beaches here.
This is one of the biggest black sand beaches in Iceland. We are there staying at a place called Dyrhólaey, or Dorhill Island, and the rocks you see there behind are called Reynistrangar. And it's this great bird watching there as well. You see puffins, black sand beach. The ocean has a great current there, and people don't really go down to the beach there because it's a steep hill down. And the current and the waves there can be very dangerous as well.
So people don't swim here; they just take pictures.
They just take pictures, enjoy it basically. Sometimes there are surfers there, but but then they're only wearing like a wetsuit and everything
because it's cold.
Yes, there you can see the Dorhill cliffs. That's the cliff with the arch in between, like a hole.
This one down below?
No, it's like further behind. And so yeah, it's been shaped by the ocean, basically, the sand. And the black sand is because of all the volcanic activity around there. The lava flows out and comes back in black sand like this.
So is it Oh, here we go. We have another scene here. Where are we here?
This is one of the farms where we stayed to have lunch. And this used to be an old farm, but they changed it into a hotel and a restaurant, which many farms around there have done. They integrate tourism into it to get some extra money, which is great for the people around there because there is so much traffic of tourists around in this area because it's simply just so beautiful and so many things to see.
What is that building right there?
That's I'm gonna guess it's an old barn and sheep house.
And what's out there? Farmland?
This is farmland where they cut the grass in the summer and make hay bales to collect up hay for the winter to feed the animals. Because there is often a lot of snow.
What highway is running here? Highway 1?
This is Highway 1. The highway, exactly. It goes one way.
What are the mountains in the background?
These mountains in the background are the mountains underneath the glacier Mýrdalsjökull.
This is where we stayed.
This is where we stayed, exactly. Where there is a hotel now and a great restaurant.
And what are those white things that are rolled?
These are hay bales.
Okay.
So it's hay like packed in plastic to preserve the hay for the winter for the sheep and horses and cows as well. If they didn't have that, it would be very tough for the animals to survive off the grass, basically. But this used to be a very typical farm, like you can see on the other side there. And yeah, it's a beautiful area, exactly.
Ah, here we go. We have some sensational photos here.
So yeah, this mountain is called Hafursey, the big one, and down there are floodplains where when there's a volcano underneath the glacier, and once that erupts, there will be flood all over there. Around that mountain, apparently, and this is often used for filming movies and series.
Like what movies?
Star Wars, Rogue One opening scene was taken there where this mountain is. They filmed The Witcher, which is on Netflix, and many other space movies.
I see.
It's very likely that you will see if there is a show from somebody, it's going to be there.
So it's known by Hollywood that this is a place to videotape or film.
Yes, it's simply just so beautiful, and the road up there is kind of rough, so you have to have a big car to get there because it is a rough road and not everybody can go, which is also good because it means less traffic.
Now we see bus there, truck, so they're busing in tourists to come and visit this place.
Yes, but it's still not going to be as busy as other places where it's more easily accessible because they need to have modified trucks for it.
Now these are glaciers or just mountains?
These are mountains, but the fields around there are all shaped by the glacier that is behind.
Okay, what are we looking now?
Here we are in Snæfellsnes Peninsula. This is Bjarnarfoss, the waterfall that is named after the farmer Bjarni, who once denied a troll for a shelter, and the troll killed all his his cows in revenge, and the farmer went crazy, and he threw all his gold into the waterfall.
Into the waterfall.
Yes.
Oh, just for taking his revenge, right?
Yeah, the farmer went crazy after all his cows were killed, so he did that, threw it in there, and it hasn't been found since. But this is Snæfellsnes Peninsula.
And we're still on Highway 1?
No, this is an extra loop of Highway 1, basically.
I see.
That we took there.
What's in the background?
In the background there are other mountains, part of the peninsula. We are now over there, we are staying on the south side of the peninsula. And there is like gonna be a mountain range behind there until you get to the other side in the north. There we are at the edge of the peninsula. This is a place called Malarif. There used to be a farm there that was so isolated and because the roads were...
saying hello to you all.
Yeah.
Okay, where are we now?
Here we are... I believe this is still Malarif.
Oh.
We have one of the beaches around there. Back in the day there used to be a lot of fishing around in those areas, and they were fishing also the Greenland shark.
Oh, here? I see.
Yeah, this is the lighthouse there.
Yeah.
Lighthouse in the area there.
What kind of fish can you get here if you fish?
All cod mostly, but yeah, a lot of other fish, but Icelanders were mostly going for the cod.
Ah, okay.
But it was a special area because of the Greenland shark that they would get there. But now it's not allowed to fish the Greenland shark anymore. It's only like if they get stuck in the nets, they will get them and produce it from there.
What are we seeing in the background?
Those are called Lóndrangar, the cliffs over there. This is said to be a troll that was coming home from the ocean with a bucket of fish, and his fiancée is somewhere up in the mountains waiting for him, but he came home after the sun came up, so he never made it.
He never made it.
Nope.
And what do we have here?
This is Snæfellsjökull glacier, a small glacier, the only one in this
Very
peninsula. This is said to be the center of the journey to the center of the earth by Jules Verne. This is supposed to be the entering into there, and it's said
so the novel was based on that.
Yes,
place
exactly
by Jules Verne,
and that kind of put this one on the map, and it's said to have like a great energy around this glacier. And there also lives a spirit called Bárður Snæfellsás, which is the protector of this area. He lives in that glacier there and is only seen when he wants to be seen.
I see. So there again we see a lot of tourists come here like us, enjoying the view. Why is this green in some places dark brown and places black? Is it because different vegetation grows? Basically
different vegetation growing, and some of it has been plowed by the farmers, but there's lava underneath there that flowed long time ago, and then moss took over, and then eventually turned into greener grass, and flowers have started to grow around there. This is in a national park, actually, Snæfellsnes National Park. So sometimes you can see Arctic fox around in this area.
I see.
And there it's protected, so they can be very friendly there. Like they're not so afraid of people.
Okay. It's very nice. It's very scenic here.
It is. This peninsula there is very. People love to go there.
Now here is a river that flows through, or is it a lake?
This is a lake that goes into creeks, and eventually there is gonna be another creek or a river that takes it down to the ocean. And this lava field is called Berserkjahraun.
Okay.
There were two berserks who were they got the project from the farmer to make a way through there, and then one of them was allowed to marry the daughter of the farmer. It was considered an impossible task, which they did. But then the farmer killed them when they finished it, because he was never going to give his daughter to one of the berserks. It was a tragic love story.
Is this lake very deep? Are there fish in there?
There is fish in there, and sometimes you see people fishing around there. And that mountain that you see there, that's an old crater. There's a lot of different craters around there, because this used to be like one of the active volcanic zones.
I see, yeah.
But not so active anymore. But all the lava that flows around there comes from these craters that are everywhere around there.
I think you mentioned, Gudni, that mountains, underneath the mountains, are volcanoes, or...
All the mountains there used to be volcanoes.
There used to be.
But so this area there is kind of dormant now. It's not really active. They say the volcano that's under Snæfellsnesjökull, the glacier, it can go anytime, but it hasn't erupted in almost 2,000 years now. But they don't know. They're not going to say it's not active, but they don't know.
Here I am greeting you again on my drone.
There we are at Dæli.
This is the place where we ate.
And we also stayed there. It's a farm hotel, and we had a horse show on those tracks over there, where the lady of the farm showed us the Icelandic horse and all the 5 gates the Icelandic horse has. The Icelandic horse is quite special because of its 5 gates. Most horses only have 3. And the Icelandic horses is smaller than most people are used to, but it's super strong and has great endurance.
Better than the regular horse, the endurance, because of the weather, the snow, and...
Yeah, they just evolved after coming here and became so strong and, have great muscles and so on.
And they came from Germany?
From Norway.
Or Norway.
With the Vikings back in the day.
All right.
This river over there is Víðidalsá. This is a great fishing river. There is salmon in there, and people come in the summertime they pay for a license to go fish salmon with a fly fishing. It's a fly fishing method, basically.
And you mentioned that fly fishing is not cheap.
No, in Iceland it's very expensive, especially in the river over there and many other rivers. One rod can cost up to $2,000, even more, per day.
If you bring your own rod?
You bring your own rod and you still pay
save-
$2,000.
Oh, so it's the same.
And then accommodation and food is not included. You have to pay extra for that.
Right.
And most of them will come and fish for 3 days.
Now here you see bear in the background, but you have trees here. Were these planted?
These were planted. They are very much trying to plant trees here in Iceland because there was, after the Vikings came, they cut down all the trees.
80%, right?
Yes, exactly. And so they're trying to plant them now, and that's what we also did. We planted, everybody got to plant 1 tree there to take part in growing the forest in Iceland.
To give back to the environment.
Exactly. So hopefully
these
that will
farm
be...
fields, what is the green area here? Is that grass?
This is grass that the farmers keep clean, and they make it grow and then cut it in the summertime for the
horses,
animals.
For the animals.
Yes.
That would be cows and also the...
Cows, horses, sheep, sometimes goats, but goats are not
Look
very
how
that common.
green it is.
It's beautiful.
Wow. Do they use any fertilizer to make it green, or is
They
it
put
green?
fertilizer on it in the springtime and also manure.
Mm-hmm.
And then every now and then, every 5 years or so, they try to plow the grass or the fields to like kind of renew it.
So they make sure they make as much as they can, because wintertime nothing grows, right?
Exactly, and there's snow covering so many of the places, so it's very tough for the animals to come
This is
there.
our bus right here where
Yes.
Emir stayed.
There
it
you can
is.
see the tracks where they trained the horses.
And it was a very good show.
It was great, and they showed so many cool things about what the
And the
purpose
people
of the
who
horse.
live here, they train the horses themselves?
Yes, they do. The lady of the house does that.
So they have to know training or how to teach the horse. So they learned it from somebody? Did they go to school to do that?
Some of them go to school to do it. Some of them know by hand, but you can actually go to school and learn it.
Ah, here's some beautiful falls. What are we seeing here?
This is Kolugljúfur. It is said that there was a troll that lived there. Her name was Kola.
Mm-hmm.
She lived there in this canyon, and she would fish salmon from there and cook it and sleep there. And it's said that she was buried next to the farm.
Next to the
in
farm.
like a pile there, and it's said there is a lot of treasure there he buried with her. And people have been trying to dig up the pile, but every time that happens they see the church on the next farm be burning or water coming down to the farm, so it's like it's getting flooded, so people always stop to either go and save the church.
Is it treasure of gold or treasure of what?
Treasure of gold, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly, but still hasn't been found, so it's still a mystery. But it's a beautiful waterfall.
Yeah.
Water coming from up from the highlands, constantly running there.
All from the glaciers though, so they're melting and they're coming down here.
Usually some of the water comes, some of it is raining water, most of it's from glaciers, been filtering through and then comes down there and is on its final way down to the ocean.
Do the farmers use the water for drinking?
You can.
You can, okay.
But most of the farmers will have a well at their home, which is like digged down and then it's cleaner water basically, but this is perfectly fine to drink as well.
I see. Wow,
Wouldn't stop
beautiful.
any, but yeah.
Do they do any bungee jumping on that thing, or no, it's not allowed?
Not in this one. I don't think it would be safe because the cliffs around it are so close. You could easily jump down and hit your head somewhere where you don't want it to be.
Correct.
But it's a beautiful place.
How about hiking? Can people hike here in this area?
You can, of course. You can hike basically wherever. But around there where there are high cliffs like that and no handrails, you have to be super careful. If you make one full step, you can slip down and that's it.
That's it, right. And during wintertime, is this frozen or still flowing?
This can be frozen at the top, but it's usually running water underneath it. But that of course depends also how cold it gets.
How far does this canyon reach? It seems to go around.
It goes
like
a little bit further down. It's gonna get lower and lower the further you go. But still, I'm gonna say at least maybe a kilometer longer down. This one. And it's been carved by the water basically. It's so beautiful.
But are there fish here or no?
The fish is there, yes, but where the waterfall was, the fish does not manage to jump up that waterfall because it's too high and too much current in it.
Okay.
But over there it's possible, but they usually stay further down, I assume.
Reminds me a little bit of the Grand Canyon, small
Yeah,
Grand
exactly.
Canyon.
Probably like a mini version of the Grand Canyon and with different colors in it.
Any movies that were filmed here? Seems like a good place to go.
Not that I know of, but that's a good question. Might have been.
Wow, it's so dramatic. Right, they could film
Iceland
some
has a
type
lot
of Viking movie here. No rafting here, right? Just
Not there, but there are other rivers in the area where you can go rafting and kayaking.
The water temperature is cold, I would assume.
Yes,
It's
this
like-
comes from the mountains, so yeah, it's gonna be pretty cold, this water. You don't want to go swim there.
Oh, we got some more people taking pictures there.
Oh, no, this is breathtaking around there.
It took my breath away. It's so
Yeah.
beautiful.
And there are endless of these places in Iceland. Yeah,
This
I never
ranks as
get
one
tired
of the
it.
best waterfalls.
Yeah.
All right, where are we now?
Now here we are at Goðafoss. That's another waterfall, the waterfall of the
God
gods. Exactly. So when Christianity was taken here in Iceland in the year 1000, when we converted from paganism to Christianity, the man who decided or took the decision, he lived on the farm next to there. And after he did, he got baptized, and then he took his statues of the old gods from his temple, and he took them there and he threw them in the waterfall.
For what reason?
It was just some kind of a ceremony to say goodbye to the paganism.
Okay.
And it's also said that
Christianity.
underneath the waterfall there was a cave where trolls lived. And one of the outlaws in Iceland, Grettir Sterki, he went there and swam underneath and killed the trolls that were there.
Oh, kill the troll. Wow.
And Grettir Sterki was an actual being, but
Okay.
It's
he
up to
killed
you
them
if you-
because he didn't like them, or they were.
they were dangerous. They had
They
been
were
killing
dangerous.
people in the area. So, and people didn't really like the trolls around.
Again, these are coming from the mountains, the glaciers.
This is coming from the glaciers, yeah. You can see the color of the water.
Yeah, it's
Has like some kind of a sand and sediments in it. And so powerful. It's so beautiful.
Again, we can have fish here and go fishing, or no?
You could probably further down. I'm not sure if they would go so far up because of the color.
Right.
But it will eventually run out into the ocean. This water has been traveling a very far way from long distance, basically from
Any
the
of this
glacier.
water used for making electricity, or most of our electricity is from geothermal?
Most of it is from geothermal plants.
Not this one, yeah.
But they do have hydro plants as well. I don't
Okay.
think they will have in this river, but there are other rivers where they have built dams and then therefore built like lagoons where they can control the water and make electricity out from there.
So that is more efficient than the hydroelectric.
And the geothermal, they do more, yeah.
They do more.
Also because the hydro plants, they affect the nature around, and people don't want that.
Right.
They don't want to change the environment and affect the wildlife, the bird life around, which is what happens when places go underneath water that takes away nesting areas for birds and so on. So they try, people are becoming more and more aware of that.
The
We can say that,
conscious,
yeah,
Right.
which is great.
Yes.
And we make more than enough. We make a lot of electricity with the geothermal way, which is really
and a
good.
lot of water. When you shower here, you have so much water, and hot water is so
Yeah,
nice
we're not going to
take
run out of
shower.
it for sure.
Oh my.
No, it's beautiful, and the colors now in summer, everything is so green and pretty.
Well, that was very, very well done, Gudni. I really appreciate this. So we'll see more of Iceland from a different point of perspective on the ground. But Gudni, that was such a great pleasure to have you talk about this place here.
Thank you. I love doing this and having people around and showing them Iceland. I'm very proud of my country.
This will be on the internet pretty soon.
Thank you.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the video from above of Iceland. I want to thank Gudni for helping me to edit this video, and also Amir for helping me pilot my DJI Mini 2, which is a great drone. And I want to thank everyone whom I met here at the OAT group. From the OAT group, they are just sensational, smart, intelligent, well-educated, and well-traveled people. So I hope you enjoyed this aerial photograph of Iceland the way we have seen it together as a group. This is Marcel Castillo. Hope to see you on another trip in the future.